Okay, very proud of our football team. The way we've maneuvered through this very trying time. Give Tommy Moffitt and our assistant coaches a lot of credit. Doug in the film room and guys that worked very hard in Zoom meetings and installations. Very hard on academics, keeping in touch with all of our guys, our players. Have been very responsive, going through a regular work day, regular school day, taking care of the business academically. So we've been competing at a high level last month or so, but obviously anxiously looking forward to getting our team back. Obviously a big week for our guys, 16 players perhaps getting drafted. Very excited about the work that they put in and what they've done for LSU. Now this is their time, and we're excited for them and their families.
Obviously, a lot of talk about Joe Burrow going number one. I mean, in your history, you've kind of experienced that with Carson Palmer. Just what is it like seeing from him in this time, and what does it mean to the university, and what about him makes you know he'll be successful in the NFL?
Well, the way he worked every day. I mean, the way he earned the right to be the starting quarterback at LSU, the way he got better, the way he captured the football team, the way he led. Joe is probably the most focused football player I ever been around. We gave him the team. Along with other guys, they took leadership. So I think that his work ethic and his attitude and his smarts is going to make him a great player.
You see different reports how, some guys are dropping in the draft, like Grant Delpit and Christian Fulton. Have teams called you, and have you tried to tell them? I guess when they ask questions, you say, that's not necessarily true. I mean, what's been some of the problems or questions you've gotten about those guys that you've kind of, tell teams that's not necessarily the right information?
Yeah, honestly, Ron, I haven't gotten any questions about Christian or Grant at all. And but if I would have, obviously, I'd talk great about both of those young men. I think that, as it gets close to the draft, questions arise on guys. Maybe I may get a call or two, but I have not gotten a call on either one of those guys yet.
I was just asking or wondering if you could talk a little bit about how much Patrick Queen's kind of evolved as a player since when you guys got him as a freshman. Yeah,
he was a tailback at Livonia. Played tailback and linebacker just like Devin White did. Came and obviously got bigger and stronger, learned the defense, and just kept on getting better and better. Every time we put him in there, he was making plays. There was a lot of things that he had to get better at, just like other players, but he kept on improving one game at a time, got better and better. At the end, he became one heck of a football player. They say he's a first-round pick, high first-round pick. We wish nothing but the best. He's a high-character kid right there from the state of Louisiana, great parents, so we wish him the best.
Obviously the pro day didn't happen there. Who from your team do you think would have benefited most from that? And who do you think, would you kind of tell NFL teams who might reach out to you if they did get a good look?
First of all, Joe wanted to have it here, everybody. I think that Thaddeus Moss comes to mind. I think that Sadiq Charles comes to mind. I mean, those two guys, there was maybe some injuries or question marks out there. I think they'd have seen them in person. I think, I don't know if you get better than Justin Jefferson, but they see him catch the ball in person. He's very impressive. I think all our guys would have did fine,
What exactly makes Clyde Edwards-Helaire a bona fide, certified NFL running back in your point of view?
He's a 3-down back, no question. And the way he catches the ball out of the backfield, I think adds a lot of value. He reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. I tried to recruit him. He went to UCLA, but I knew him out of De La Salle High School. And, Maurice Jones-Drew was an excellent back in the NFL. This guy has a low center of gravity, is very smart, is very competitive. I think the game that he had against Alabama was one of the best football games I ever see a running back have. And I think that he's done it at an elite level, and he will continue to do that. The way he catches the ball out the backfield makes him different.
Thaddeus Moss, he has very little, I guess, experience, but you've had him for a long time. How much, I guess, polish did he gain from the first time he was with you guys to finally going through this full season?
Night and day. I think it's one of the best transformations I ever seen in a young man. He made a decision that he was going to get in tremendous shape, that he was going to commit himself totally to football, and look at the year he had. Great young man, great team guy. Him and Joe became best buddies. Before that, Thaddeus was always having an injury here, but I don't think he missed one practice last year. He became a great team guy and enjoyed playing football.
This year you guys could probably see as many as 15 or 16 players go in this draft, which would break the all-time record. What does a record like that, I guess, do for you and your program?
Well, that and 50 cents to get you a cup of coffee tomorrow, but no, it means a lot. It means development. It means recruiting great character kids. It means a lot in recruiting. The reason you come to school at LSU is because you want to win the national championship, you want to graduate, and you want to get drafted. And now it's not like we're presenting a plan to the parents. This is what we're going to do. This is the results that are going to happen if we put in the right amount of work. So I think it adds validity to your program. I think it enables you to recruit across the country. Obviously, we're a national brand right now. We want to stay in the state of Louisiana with our great players, and we want to continue to win championships.
I just had wanted to follow up on what you said about Joe at the start. Are there some things that you think he's taking with him from his experience at LSU that are going to bode well for him as a number one pick? Because he's going to be going into a different situation than he's ever walked into before.
Right. Joe didn't play in 3 years, and he came here and he earned the respect of the football team. And Joe wasn't the Heisman Trophy winner when he got here. He developed. He got better. He kept his mouth shut. Obviously, we all heard the stories. Number one draft pick going to this team or that team. They haven't had a good record, whatever. I think that Joe has not had a silver spoon in his mouth all his life. I think Joe has had to fight all his life, and I think that if he does have to fight, and it may be Cincinnati, he's willing to fight for that, and he's willing to build a team and willing to go through adversity if he has to. Nothing was promised to him here. He came here and with faith and built a championship team, and I don't see why not he couldn't do it in Cincinnati.
Okay, Coach, can you talk to me about Sadiq Charles visited with us recently and said he realized the mistakes he made, he's grown a lot, and he won't do those kind of things again. What have you observed out of him over the last year?
Obviously, he battled some off the field problems. That's documented. Hopefully, he has learned his lesson. Myself, personally, I think he should have stayed. And he'd have probably been a first or second round pick next year. So, but, he made the decision. There's a lot of people that are calling me about him. Sadiq is a good young man. And obviously, like us all, he had some character flaws that he had to straighten up in his life. And hopefully he did it. And hopefully he can prove to the NFL that he can go out there and on a consistent basis do the right thing. And if he does that, I think he's going to have a great career.
With everything else that this team has accomplished this year, the Saints have never drafted an LSU player in the first round. Would it mean anything to go ahead and break that streak too?
Maybe. Maybe. I know I've gotten a lot of calls from those guys, and they definitely love the culture of our program right now. They like the character of our football team. I think that Sean Payton and Mickey have a lot of respect for what we're doing here. A lot of the Saints program and culture is going on right here at LSU. So I think that hopefully you see the first year, get a first round pick to LSU. Get the see him to the Saints. I'd love to see it. I promise you that.
You know, once years pass and we get a chance to look at some of these guys in the NFL, what do you think people will think back to when they look at this LSU draft class in total?
Yeah. Character. Very, very talented football team. I think that you look at the character of this football team and the type of young men that they are on a daily basis is going to go far for them.